This is a 3DS. It's a DS, but in 3D. It's the 5th best-selling handheld console of all time, with 75 million units sold. But Nintendo has other plans now for the system by shutting down the eShop for it and the Wii U. This is a shame. We knew it was going to happen eventually, but maybe could have given a bit more time. Anyways, card payments will be accepted. I tried it, and neither will eShop gift cards by the time this video is out. But it never said anything about cash. And it will officially shut down in March next year. So today, I have chosen 20 eShop games you should consider getting. Now, don't be greedy and get all of them. Only a few, if you want. I was going to choose only 10, but the 3DS eShop is far better than the Wii U's. So, without delaying, let's get started. Number 20. Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS DLC. And we are adding DLCs to this list because they will also be unobtainable in the future once the eShop shuts. Now, why is this so low on the list? Well, all of the downloadable characters can be unlocked in Smash Ultimate on Switch. And all the 3DS DLC stages appear too, so there isn't much of a need for them. But anyways, only get it if you want to play every single stage with every single character unlocked, and you want to properly 100% the game. So unless your dying wish is to see Roy and Ryu fighting on Gore Plain, then you might want to skip on this. Number 19. Dillon'S Rolling Western. Have you ever wanted to be a cowboy armadillo rolling through the rocks? No. Well, that is what Dillon is about. This tower defense game puts you in the boots of Dillon, an armadillo. No, not that one. This one. You need to protect this village from groks, these giant rock monsters who feed on your livestock called sprogs. In this game, you feed the livestock to do some mining and break a few boulders here and there to protect the village. There's a sequel to this game called Dillon'S Rolling Western, The Last Ranger, which you can try out, and there's also a spin-off called Dillon'S Dead Heat Breakers. If strategy games are your thing and you like to mine things in games which isn't Minecraft, then this one is for you. Number 18. The Mysterious MURASAME Castle. Way before we got introduced to the widely popular Zelda franchise, Japan was hiding its secret sister from us. While the original Zelda released in 1987, its sister game, The Mysterious MURASAME Castle, released only in Japan on the Famicom in 1986. If you see gameplay of this, you can see the similarities between the two. You play as Takamaru, the samurai, going through various linear levels with fast-paced action, defeating enemies with your katana and shuriken. And you can also gain new abilities like invisibility and lightning. So if you are a fan of the Zelda franchise and want to try something new, this is a game you gotta try. And yes, if you are wondering, where have I seen this sprite before? Well, here you go. Number 17. Streetpass Me Plaza. Aw man, I've only got £4.49 in my wallet and I can't afford any good games. You want to spend money on gardening? Yes, for £4.49 you can go gardening. I'd rather spend money at home base. But that's not all you can get here at Streetpass Me Plaza. Yeah, you can play Galaga, Samurai Battles, Luigi's Mansion Tetris Edition, Cooking Mama, Angry Birds, and a whole load of other games. They all can be bought separately for $4.49 or in a pack of 4 games for just $13.49. And you can get one game for free. That's right, Slot Racer, or the wise choice, Stonks. You heard me correct. You can start your crypto journey for free with Streetpass Trade. Or if you choose Slot Racer like a wimp, then pay $4.49 for it. It's a really weird choice of games to pick from these. It would have been nice to have a platformer of some sort, but that's okay. But you could also purchase Streetpass Premium for $13.49. No, that doesn't mean you get all DLC for free. This, you get to know people's birthdays? And you can allow more people to queue up for your plaza. I guess that's cool. Number 16. Mini Mario and Friends Amiibo Challenge. You want to try this free game but it's only free to download, but to try to play this free game, you need to pay money to play this free game by paying for an amiibo. Now, To fully play the game, you'll need an amiibo for Mario, Luigi, Peach, Toad, Bowser, Bowser Jr., Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong, Yoshi, Rosalina, and a box of Mario cereal. Guess I'll just have to do with this. Each character unlocks their own world to beat, and everyone has their own special abilities like wall jumping, eating enemies, higher jumps, and others. It plays similar to its predecessors, but in order to play, you need an amiibo. Now you can use any other amiibo, which is not a card, and you'll get to play as Mini Spec, who has no special abilities and can't go further than Star 1 in the game. So yeah, you need every amiibo here. However, many say that this is the weakest of the franchise simply because of the weird amiibo function, which is needed to play the game. So if you own a 3DS or Wii U, download this game now, so if you do get amiibos in the future, at least you'll have this game to play. These ones, they can just go in the bin. Number 15, Team Kirby Clash Deluxe. Kirby, because the 3DS just wanted it all, and the Wii U, well, of all the eShop exclusive Kirby games, this is probably the weakest. But that doesn't mean it's bad. Now the reason this might be the one you skip on is either because of the fact that its sequel to this, Super Kirby Clash, is on Switch, or the dreaded microtransactions. Yep, this is a microtransaction game, meaning you must pay real money to get gem apples, which you can get for free by playing the game, but to get gems quick, it's best to buy them. And when the eShop closes, it'll be impossible to do so. If you couldn't tell already, it's an expansion to the same game of the same undeluxe version from Planet Robobot, but with a few small changes in the game, like the ability to change equipment, use potions, and special items before battle, as well as completing certain tasks during battle to get bonus points. It's not that interesting compared to the other Kirby eShop games, but don't worry, Kirby is not over yet. Number 14, Dr. Mario Miracle Cure. With Dr. Mario World no longer existing, and most of us waiting for Dr. Mario on Switch, let me rephrase that, a new Dr. Mario on Switch, the last game in the franchise, which also happened to be the last Mario title to have Satoru Iwata as the executive producer, was the 3DS's Dr. Mario Miracle Cure. It plays like a typical Dr. Mario game, Candy Crush with drugs. You can play as both Mario and Luigi in this game, and Luigi also has his L capsules here too, like in Dr. Luigi. This game has a new feature called Miracle Cures, which have different effects on the levels. Some examples are removing all capsules or viruses of a certain colour, or striped candy or wrap candy. Sorry, I meant to say horizontal or vertical zappers. My bad. This game also has multiplayer, so you can play it against other people locally and online as well, as the Germ Buster game from Dr. Mario Online RX. So give this one a try, because we don't know when we'll get the next Dr. Mario game. Number 13, Rhythm Paradise Megamix, or Rhythm Heaven as the Americans call it. Now, us Europeans did get a physical release, but yeah, I think I'll pass on that. But for the Americans, it's an eShop exclusive, so for all the regions it's cheaper to get the eShop version. Just like any Rhythm Paradise game, music is a bop and needs to be, because it's a rhythm game. So either get this game while you can, or find a weird shaped chicken nugget and sell it on eBay. Number 12, New Super Mario Bros. 2 DLC. Have you ever felt like speedrunning New Super Mario Bros. 2 to get the gold Raccoon Mario statue? No? Well, you can simply do this by purchasing level packs. That's right, 10 level packs are available to purchase for just £2 to play in the Coin Rush mode. They range from various themes like level based on moving platforms, retro levels, or hell itself. That thing has given PTSD to so many players. Many players say that the perfect run is the hardest Mario level. Those are also the people who say that nothing is impossible. Have you seen the name of this pack? These levels somehow make the boring New Super Mario Bros. 2 so much better and enjoyable, and makes the grind for 100% so much more. The variety in these DLC levels are so vast, and with the eShop shutting down, you may want to go buy the game and get it. And maybe buy a backup 3DS just in case you break your first one. Number 11. DDD's Drum Dash Deluxe. Puts your tongue in a spin, doesn't it? I used that letter D so many times in one sentence that it made my Windows crash. In this rhythm game, you play as the self-proclaimed Dreamland King and belly flop on large drums to the beat of the music. This is just like the deluxe version of this game from Triple Deluxe, but this time, it's deluxe. Wow! It has 7 stages instead of 3 and has 7 secret versions of each stage, but it's harder. That's 14 in total. Yay, you can do maths. There's also a wider variety of enemies and course elements. Trophies are a thing now for your high scores, and masks for the blue penguin to wear. You got one for Kirby, Meta Knight, Waddle Dee, Taranza, and of course, Mars DDD. So if you love rhythm games and you love King DDD, you know what it means? I'm adopted? No, you silly goose. It means you like the letter D. Number 10. Mario vs Donkey Kong Tipping Stars. Here is the not free but better mini Mario game to play on the list. Tipping Stars released both for the Wii U and 3DS, but if you buy one version, you get a download code for the other system for free. It plays quite similarly to the rest of the puzzle franchise. You can create your own levels and share them with friends between both the Wii U and 3DS version. Well, that was until... This series is a must-buy before the eShop shuts, as all of the DS and 3DS games available to play for the series will be gone. Only 2 will be available to play, and they are Mario vs Donkey Kong 2 and Miniland Mayhem, though you will need to physically buy them. There is a much better game in the series available on 3DS, however, we'll get to that game later. For now, let's move on to our next game. Number 9. Kirby's Blowout Blast. If you thought that the Forgotten Land was Kirby's first 3D experience, then think again, my friend, as this was the original 3D Kirby. Well, technically the original game of the expansion Kirby 3D Rumble from Planet Robobot was... Anyways, from just the mediocre 3 levels in Planet Robobot, Kirby returns in a 3D environment. And guess what? It's not the same game. Nope, it's not Deluxe. This is the original game, and this is the new one. Unlike other Kirby games, this throws copyabilities out of the window. It just focuses on the puzzle and strategy of going through the levels and sucking in enemies and other objects and blowing them out precisely to rack up combo points to get a high score at the end of the stage. And in this game making his debut, Chonky Kirby. Inhale multiple enemies and objects and grow big in size. But if you're not into high score based games, this might not be for you. But just think about how sad Chonky Kirby will feel. Number 8. Kirby Fighters Deluxe. Whoa! Another Kirby game back to back? Have you ever just wanted to play Smash Bros but just Kirby? No, not in Smash Ultimate, its own thing. Kirby's Fighters Deluxe, a more deluxe version of the sub-game of the same name from Triple Deluxe. Because Deluxe makes everything so much cooler, pfft, duh. It's just another Kirby Smash Bros spin-off where the percentage meter is replaced by a damage meter. You basically pick a copy ability to use throughout the fight, and the items come from Triple Deluxe. There are unique stages in this game, all based off areas from previous Kirby games like Factory Tour and Castle Lolo as well. Number 7. Game Boy Virtual Console. There are such a large choice of Game Boy and Game Boy Color games here to choose from, and so much which will be lost. The 3DS family is the only way to play Game Boy and Game Boy Color titles on modern hardware. And no, emulation does not count. Aww, I just want to play on my boy. From all the Pokemon titles, except Pokemon Pinball, Super Mario Land 1 and 2, Link's Awakening, the Oracle games, Kirby, and even Wario Land. What about Mall Mania? Yeah, of course, how can you forget that? This would be higher, but Nintendo might put on NSO at some point, as rumors were floating around of it coming soon. But until that's confirmed, best to get these amazing gems while you still can. There are loads of hidden gems hidden in the Game Boy library, and I'm sure you'll find one you'll love. Unfortunately, you can't play GTA. But you know what you can play? Number 6. PULLBLOX, or as the Americans call it, Pushmo, is a cool puzzle game where you pull, or push in the US, blocks, or in the UK, blocks with an X. You play as Mallow and navigate through the levels and reach the flag at the end of each one. It's a pretty neat puzzle game for you to try out, and you can make your own levels and share them with your friends through QR codes. This game generated a whole new series on 3DS and Wii U family, with 3 on the former and 1 on the latter. In the first game, you simply pull the blocks 3 times and climb the tower and reach the top. PULLBLOX had separate blocks, which were treated as separate objects, and you needed to construct a tower or path to get to the flag. And the last entry, FULLBLOX, is basically the first game, but blocks can be pulled out from existing ones. PULLBLOX World has 7 free levels to try, and the rest are sold as DLC. This game faced the Europe and US name change thing. US had Pushmo, Crashmo, Pushmo World, and Stretchmo. Europe had PULLBLOX, FULLBLOX, PULLBLOX World, and FULLBLOX. The wrong spelling of blocks makes everything cooler. Number 5. 3D Classic Series. Have you ever tried to wear 3D glasses and play an NES at the same time? Please don't. I wouldn't recommend it. The 3D Classic Series. You'd be a fool to assume that these are just NES games, but 3D. Am I wrong, sir? Of course you is, dummy! These aren't just 3D-ified NES games, but they essentially are remakes in a sense. 6 games were released in this series. 5 from the NES and Xevious. Xenoblade? No. Ew. I'll quickly break down changes in each one for ya. Kirby's Adventure has a 3D effect and runs like melted butter on 3DS. If you compare the performances of the choppy NES to this side by side, you would notice the difference heavily. Kid Icarus added backgrounds to the game, cause on the NES it's pitch black, but here it has depth to it, and the backgrounds get brighter as you climb up. Excite Bike is now Wide Bike. Using the 3D slider, you can add depth to the field of view. Xevious and Twin Bee are just okay. Nintendo could have picked a different game from one of these two, as they both play almost identically. But one of the best turned out remakes from this is Urban Champion. It starts off looking like the normal game, but when the characters move to another screen, bam, they're 3D models. A full 2.5D remake of this game, and that's what's so cool. Each of these games are the definitive remake in this series, which makes them worth the buck. Number 4. Mario vs Donkey Kong Minis on the Move. It's been too long since I talked about Mini Mario, and I'm really sorry about this. Have you ever played Wii Party? No. I mean, yeah. Do you remember that epic side game Garden Gridlock? Yeah. Well, Mario vs Donkey Kong Minis on the Move is just that. The minis move on their own, but you add blocks to the 3D diorama, which act as a path for the minis to move and reach the end. You can also design your own levels too, just like Tipping Stars. While I have never played any of the Mario vs Donkey Kong games, this one seems the most interesting for me. There are 4 worlds, and there's also a couple of side games too. So this game is a must buy in my opinion. An awesome puzzle platformer, and probably one of, if not the best Mario vs Donkey Kong entry yet. Number 3. BOXBOY Trilogy. Now we're in the good stuff. While HAL is known for Kirby, BOXBOY is another project which is just so good. You play as a Box, who is a boy. Whoa, really? And he can spawn boxes from himself, and can make platforms to progress through the levels. He can stack them in different orders and either drop them off to make a path for him to cross, or he can just snake through them to get to where he needs to be. While the 4th game is on Switch, the original trilogy is on 3DS just waiting to die. The first game is simple. You can create a set of boxes to move on, but if you try to make a second one, the first set will despawn. Now BOXBOY on the other hand lets you put 2 sets down. Wonder how you figure that out. And bye bye BOXBOY, the last entry on the 3DS has so much to offer, with loads of different power-ups and babies. And you can play as Kirby characters too, as well as unlocking another character, QC, and a retro color scheme too. There's a demo available for the whole trilogy, where you can try on some levels from each of the 3 games for free. If I had to pick one game I'd buy, it'd probably be the last one, as there's so much on the plate in that one. Number 2. dsiware. Not really a game per se, but you won't be able to play any dsiware title after all this is over. There are so many hidden dsiware titles to choose just one spot here, that I just had to put the whole section here. You can play a little bit of Dr. Mario, the only Dr. Mario for the DS back then, Or Puro, where you eat beans with your super long Yoshi tongue. And yes, that is the bird from the Wario game. Flipnote Studio, or you could just spend 200 My Nintendo points and get the 3D one for free. The original Mario vs Donkey Kong games, or you could just play the newer ones. Rayman, Photo Dojo where you fight yourself, Shantae, and of course, the calculator and clock. Cause you really need to spend 179 on the only way you can do maths and check the time. Don't need this anymore. Before we get to number 1, I do want to quickly mention game demos. While they have limited uses, it's best to download these before it's too late. Many first party Nintendo games have demos, so try them out. Games like Smash 3DS, Planet Robobot, Rhythm Heaven and more have demos, so try them out. Number 1. Nintendo Badge Arcade. It couldn't be anything else. The only game from this list which I own and still play to this day, Nintendo Badge Arcade. What else wouldn't it be number 1 other than the game which lets you customize your home screen on the 3DS with badges across many Nintendo franchises. It's a free to start game and you could be like me and be a free to play player and not have to pay anything. Every day, 2 free plays are awarded to the player to try across different machines. And you can get at least 1 more free play from the practice catcher. And if you're lucky, you can get bonus plays from this catcher, and the max plays I got so far from the practice catcher is 4 free plays alone. So that's at max 6 goes a day, and you can get 5 more for just 90p. There are so many badges to choose from Splatoon, Mario, Zelda, Pokemon, Kirby, Animal Crossing, DK, Yoshi, Wario, Mega Man, Pushmo, BOXBOY. Heck, you can even get badges based on the Switch and other consoles, and the Cap Mario show or whatever that was. You can really create your own multiverse on your very own home screen. You can make it look like this, or this, or this, or... okay, maybe not this. The Switch doesn't even have what the 3DS had. Home screen themes and badges. What does the Switch have? Dog mode and insanity? You can even add badges to folders as well. Just get this game. I order you to. I mean, how can you say no to this? Aww. Nintendo's greatest character. Hopefully this game will still be playable after March next year, or I'd be mad at Nintendo for making this adorable pink bunny unemployed. I can guarantee you'll have much better luck playing this game than in a real life crane game. I wasted so much money on this and I don't think I'll ever be able to recover from this crane machine. I must have lost like what, 50 quid that day. I just wanted Baby Yoda. Aww. So that was my top 20 3DS eShop games to get before it shuts down. Don't get them all, there's no need, but I hope I managed to dig out a couple games you might be willing to try out, which you never heard of. So until next time, take care, and peace.